In your Indian interest video, you said that from the Ukraine conflict, India should learn and focus more on drone technology and missile systems. Also, we should focus on cyber warfare, but we are still waiting to induct even one indigenous drone. Meanwhile, Turkey and Iran are drone export leaders. What can we learn from these two nations? Excellent question. So yeah, let's not go back into the lessons of the Ukraine war. I said that we need to focus on drone technology. Now, you don't develop drone technology over a matter of 6 months or 2 years. Takes some time for these technologies to iteratively mature. You have to start from scratch essentially. Yeah, and then you slowly build on whatever you've learned and you make better and better drones. There are several generations of drones. Look at the generations of Indian missiles. We started with a very, very basic and very primitive, rudimentary Prithvi 1 missile, which is a liquid fueled missile. Now it is being replaced by the Agni P missile or so something. Yeah. So India started deploying indigenous missiles in the early 1990s. Now we are in the 2020s. The missiles that we are now deploying are incredibly sophisticated compared to those primitive missiles that we had. It took 30, 40 years for the missile program and technology in India to really mature and become very sophisticated. India has a very sophisticated missile, ballistic missile, and other missile program today. Ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and all. And there are certain missiles that we may not even be aware of. Yeah. So it took about 40 years for the program to become really cutting edge and very sophisticated. The same goes for India's space program. We started with very rudimentary rockets. Now we have some of the best rocket technology in the world. Yes. So when it comes to drones, let's talk about Turkey, right? You're referring to Turkey. We also refer to Iran. Let's take the example of Turkey. Yeah. So the Turks are now one of the leaders in drone technology. So they have this company called Baykar, which manufactures a bunch of drones. Baykar is a private Turkish defense technology. Now, once again, statutory warning: Wikipedia is not always reliable. I'm just using it for convenience. Uh, Especially when it comes to history, it's not reliable. So this company was founded, Baykar, in 1984 as Baykar Makina, yeah, by Özdemir Bayraktar. It was founded in 1984. And so it's been around for a long, long time, and they have a strong foundation and background in uh, precision machinery and all these things, automotive, constructing automotive parts, engines, pumps, and spare parts. So they have a very strong understanding of foundation in this mechanical engineering. Now, in the early 2000s, the son of Özdemir Bayraktar, Selçuk, he was studying in MIT, I believe. Yeah. No, he was in. He completed his masters in MIT, etc. So he returned to Turkey in 2007, cutting his PhD studies short, and he started developing drone technology. So the company already had a very strong foundation in mechanical engineering and all these things. And this guy came back in 2007 to work with his daddy, with his father, and within 5 years they started developing very uh, capable drones. Then his brother, younger brother, or I don't know, or his brother Haluk also joined the company. And so essentially, the company had a very strong foundation in mechanical engineering. From 2007 onwards, they started focusing on drones. And today, in 2023, they have some of the best drones in the world. Let's take a look at some of the drones that they have. Let's put that on the screen. So it takes time to mature. You iteratively mature this. So they have Bayraktar Mini UAV, the TB1, the TB2, the Akinci, the TB3, and the Kizilelma. Uh, so that's the drone family that they have. Let's take a look at the TB2, which is one of the more sophisticated drones that they have. It's being used in Ukraine and other places. Yes. So this took them a lot of time to develop this kind of drone. Yeah. So that is the TB2, which is one of the best drones they have. And now they are developing the red apple, the Kizilelma. The Kizilelma, we don't see images of that right now. Let's try to Google some images of the Kizilelma. This is a drone that is still under development. It incorporates some elements of stealth technology. You can see from the shape that it is stealth capable to a certain extent. So it's taken them decades to reach this position. It's not something you can do in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Yeah, it takes time. You need a strong foundation of technology to be able to do this. Even the Chinese have a whole lot of drones they've been developing for the past 30, 40, 50 years. They have been testing all kinds of drones for decades. India has only now started focusing on drone technology. It takes time for this to develop and mature. We need to pour in substantial funds into this, and it's wrong to have. I mean, it's fine. See, in Turkey, there's just one company that's doing this. In China, there are a lot of different institutes that are working on drone technology. We need to have funds, and we need to have the right minds. You have to attract the right minds, and then build on whatever you've learned. So it takes time. I would say it would take India about 5 to 10 years to develop a stealth capable drone. We already are developing a stealth drone, flying wing drone called the DRDO Ghatak. It was earlier called the Aura. We have certain other projects under development. I think that India can accelerate the production of these technologies. We have DRDO, we have various. See, DRDO is a very bureaucratic organization. It's not a private company. Baikar is a private company. It's run specifically for a certain purpose. DRDO is a very sprawling organization. We certainly need to reform the way these organizations are run, cut down on all the extraneous staff. DRDO has a staff of how much? 30,000, out of which only 5,000 are scientists. So what are 25,000 non-scientists doing in DRDO? It's a huge drain of money. So we need to do something about this. We need to reform these organizations, maybe bring in the private sector. I think the brains, the talent, the capability, the know-how, it's all there in India. We need to find ways of leveraging that. um, so either the government should give out contracts to private, and we know that India is now becoming a drone hub. Private companies are manufacturing drones, not necessarily military drones, but the know-how they acquire in manufacturing commercial drones and developing the technology will definitely have military applications. So we are now building the capability to do these things. I think within a decade, India could very surprisingly become a nation at the forefront of some of these technologies. So, what we can learn from nations that have done well in designing and developing drone technology is that we have to invest in this technology for a long period of time. We have to attract the best minds. We have to provide sufficient funds, and we have to understand that there are several generations of technology which are built on top of the previous generations. So that's the thing. So I think now India is going in the right direction. Obviously we can still do better, we can still do much better, but we are on the right track now. I think within a decade India could be one of the major drone manufacturing nations, not just commercial drones but actually military drones as well.